Hey, what's up, what's up? One time for one time. I don't even know where I'm looking right now. It's been a minute since I've made a video, but I felt the need to come and speak on a couple of topics because, for one, it weighs heavy on my heart, and anytime that happens, that's when I have the need to rant. Oh my gosh. I just have the need to rant for whatever reason. I have no clue. But with that being said, I just want to address a couple of things. For one, I want individuals to realize that we are here to live a human experience, as a lot of people like to say, in this lifetime, but you got to make it count. And I realize that a lot of our great leaders um, failed at a couple of things in life because they allowed their personal carnal senses to take over. They allowed emotions to completely rule who they were. We are allowed to have human moments and experiences, yeah, but we have to take accountability and we can't continue making the same mistakes, and we have to learn from our forefathers. Think about this. Think about this in your head. Pay attention, y'all. The downfall of Marcus Garvey is because he wasn't as well educated when it came to finances. He was very trusting of certain individuals. He necessarily didn't invite other people's opinions in. So with that being said, why wouldn't I learn my lesson from that scenario? Why would I let my own carnal senses be the demise because I have a prideful soul that does not want to give up or relinquish the authority that I have when someone else may have a greater answer? And so that kind of stems and kind of emerges or correlates to my post that I made beforehand. I analyze every action. I analyze every statement. I'm a very humorous person. Like, I'm one of the homies I guess you can hang out and chill with and laugh and whatnot. But within that being said, when it comes down to having real life conversation and it breaks down and it starts to simmer down and people are really going into how they really feel about scenarios, I pay attention because I know one day that will entail me having a situation or scenario with you. For instance, if you're treating that individual that you supposedly love so greatly and all of a sudden your emotions just completely cut off and you no longer have any feelings, what makes you think you're going to treat me any better? I'm not playing those games. I don't wait around for somebody to do the same thing to me. I'm paying attention to how you're treating those people that are supposedly close to you. I'm paying attention to how you treat them. And I know, why wouldn't I be the next on the chopping block? That's what people don't realize. Like, you got to learn from mistakes. Every scenario is a lesson learned. It's no jokes out here. So with that being said, we have our human moments, but we got to learn and start taking accountability. Stop saying that everything is, oh, it's not that serious. I hate that statement because it is. It's not that serious. We don't think it's that serious until, like, for instance, it doesn't seem that serious that, okay, a seed comes from a fruit. Then all of a sudden the fruit is put into the soil and it's watered. You see how those small components took that for that seed in order to grow to something that can nourish your body, to make something so powerful and so great. So stop being so passive about small things in life because it snowballs into something greater and bigger, and you don't know what you're bypassing. You don't know what type of problem you're creating, and you don't know what type of solution you may be creating. So stop being so passive. I'm not passive. I'm not. Everywhere I go, for sure, there's no in between. I always get it. It's either they love me or they hate me, and I'm okay with that. I sleep well at night when I'm not up studying and depriving myself of sleep. But, so, that's what I have to say on that situation. But I actually came here to talk to you about a scenario that I ran across because I was so excited. I was working on a project with an individual who wanted to introduce a curriculum into the school system. Until we're able to build up our own infrastructures for institutions where we're able to teach our young black women and males, then we have to create certain solutions that kind of deal with the problem that we're that's at hand right now. At right now, we don't really have too many institutions. So while that's being created and we're fermenting that idea, why not implement your own curriculum? Why not take it up to the state school board and enforce this? Because we know this is scenarios that we're dealing with today in today's society. The closest thing I ever got to Black history was Black History Month and slave movie Roots. And when I got to college, I saw another slave movie, Roots. I'm like, I don't need to see someone being put into slavery or enslaved again for me to get that concept. Until I started doing my own research and realized that I came from a great people. Till I realized that I cannot do my ancestors justice if their voice is not heard. If I don't tell the true stories. knowing that these powerful individuals who are in power, the elite have stifled their voices through the creation of iniquity and greed, my ancestors are not able to relive out their destiny through their generations because we're constantly being forced into a society, a systematic racially, the society that we don't want to be put into, but yet we allow this happen. We allow this to happen day in and day out. So with that being said, I grouped together with a group of individuals, and we came up with literature that we want to introduce into the school system in California. And then with that being said, also create other additions to the curriculum. It will be completely spoken on once it's done, because I'm all about action as well as speaking. I'm a woman of my word, and I don't play those types of games. If you say you're going to do something, please do it, because I do everything. We all have responsibility, but I try everything in my power. If something is out of my control, okay, I understand that it wasn't meant to be, but if you have the control to make sure you do something and be about it, then there are people that would love to be alive today in your place, and if they could redo things, they would be reliving some of the things they should have done if they were still alive. So with that being said, a lot of activists today would definitely be making a lot of changes with all of this resource that we have, and yet we sit up here and we waste it, and we get distracted by mundane things. Bruh, I don't know how many times, and I'm a lot of times disappointed in the men. Don't, because it insults me. It's fine. You want to call me queen, you want to call me beautiful, or you want to call me smart, whatever the case may be. But I'm not infatuated by that at all, because I see right through it. I hung out with guys. I see right through it. I am more impressed with an individual who maneuvers based on their action and is not simply distracted by something that's carnal sense. Of course, we're attracted to the opposite nature, but if you're so distracted to you're off your game, or to the point where you can offend somebody, someone you supposedly care about, I'm not rocking with you. I'm not. Every decision that you make affects everyone around you, whether you realize it or not. Whether you realize it or not. So with that being said, the curriculum will be created. I keep jumping off the subject. And I ran across this scenario that they're introducing into the corporate world. I need to slow down talking. I get so hyped sometimes that I want it all to come out at once. I have dyslexia at the mouth sometimes. But it's being introduced into the corporate world, and it's called human-centered design thinking. And that's an innovative way of solving a community's dilemmas that they have by utilizing local resources and utilizing prototypes and new innovative ways of thinking. No longer allowing boundaries to take over, because a lot of times when you get conditioned in these institutions we call a college, they're not able to be applied to the real world that we live in and in reality, because the economics have not caught up. The true dynamics of the world that we live in has not been manufactured into the curriculum that we're constantly being taught. So new waves of thinking. I'm not talking new age religion, because a lot of people will force that in and kind of get people confused and misconstrued on things. When I'm talking about redefining the way that you think, and I must have jumped up and down so much, because I was like, yo, finally you're caught up, because I don't do things the same way over and over. I can't apply what I've learned about a scenario to the same person, because we don't all walk the same journey or path. It may be very similar, but it's not the same path, son. I may have similar attributes or similar energies, but it's not the same. It will never be the same. Understand that. So with that being said, human-centered design, what it does is it discovers the problem that you're having. It resurrects a conglomerate of ideas, and it's coming from a multitude of different individuals, not some individual like the government who has no idea the type of struggle I'm going through, but want to dictate my life. You implement the different perspectives from different minorities who actually lived this day in and day out and came from that community, and then we come up with a prototype, multiple prototypes, just in case something fails. And then how can you fail? And that's the definition of perfection, failing. It takes more times of failure than it does to succeed, and people are afraid to fail and get it right. And for some reason, these parents are not allowing their children to fail. It is okay. But making sure that you reconstruct how they fail. You don't want to control their atmosphere and their experiences, but you want to make sure that they learn from the lesson when they fail. Because once again, we're going to lead back to the beginning topic that I said beforehand. Every mistake that you make has a consequence. So if you're going to fail at something, and if you're going to put your all into something, make sure it counts. And you're not doing it frivolously and on impulse without thinking about it and being foolish about it. Because we have a lot of adults who are foolish. I get so many people asking me how old I am. It don't matter how old I am. Just know that I'm doing something right. If I'm having you think and having you kind of reconsider how you're acting and behaving as an adult. And I'm much younger than you. Trust and believe. I'm much younger than you. So with that being said, human-centered design, it focuses on local problems within the community and makes sure that your child is able to survive in this world. Because we think differently. We maneuver things. We even talk faster. That's why I talk so fast. I'm telling you. That's why I talk so fast. So, and it no longer, it focuses on numbers. It's no longer us focusing on sales, because the thing is, as a client or as a customer, I'm not coming back to you if I didn't get great customer service. I'm not coming back to you if I didn't feel like you were actually in this to help me out, or you were just not, if you were just trying to profit off of me and make a buck. I'm not coming back to you. I have to have a rapport. I have to build a relationship with you. We have to get back to what it means to be able to come up with solutions and provide that